There is a common misconception about speed in Olympic weightlifting. A lot of lifters think that their problem just comes down to speed, whether that's being more explosive, more aggressive, or just being faster from the floor. When you actually look at what's holding lifters back, speed is actually rarely the issue, or at least not in the way that you may think about it. The real problem is that many lifters don't understand acceleration, particularly in the pull from the floor. The first pull in the snatch or the clean, meaning from the floor to the knee, is force dominant, not velocity dominant. That means your job isn't to make the bar move fast initially, it's to apply force in a controlled manner through the right direction, while staying balanced within the midfoot. Now, control doesn't mean low intent. Control doesn't mean to be passive at all. Control means the bar is only moving as fast as your position allows. When the bar speed in the first pull outpaces your balance, then everything from that point technically breaks down. Efficient lifts don't have two speeds, they have one mode of continuous acceleration. A good pull shows as a smooth rise in speed from the floor up through extension. A poor pull shows a spike in early bar speed, followed by a drastic slowdown, whether that be at the knee or just before contact, then a forced late explosion afterwards. If you see a lifter drastically slow down before extension, it's not exactly because they pulled too slow. They likely pulled too fast earlier, lost balancing and positioning, and then had to readjust in the second pull. Now, this is where people get confused. You will see a small drop or plateau in bar speed during that transition phase from the second pull to extension in an efficient lift. That's normal. That dip that you see isn't a loss of control. It's just a brief mechanical repositioning during that double knee bend phase in the second pull before then a later explosion in extension. But what we don't want is this dip in bar speed to be caused by rushing the pull earlier or losing position. In an efficient pull, this dip in bar speed is often small, short, and then followed by an explosive higher speed velocity. In an inefficient pull, that dip is often bigger, lasts longer, and then that peak speed later often pays the price. Essentially, a good pull plateaus right before they explode in extension. A bad pull dips drastically in speed because they've already made a mistake in the pull. And this is where people can get confused when they watch elite lifters. Some elite lifters look so slow from the floor where you wonder how they can even get under the thing. But they're not exactly choosing to be slow. Their intent is maximal, but the load simply limits that early bar velocity while they ensure that their balance and positioning is in check. Beginners rushing and launching light weights from the floor is essentially the opposite of this stimulus. Speed isn't forced early, it's earned later. That transition phase in the second pull leading into extension is where those inefficient pulls get exposed. If the bar was rushed initially, the knees may have to rebend aggressively or the hips may come forward to meet the bar, the arms may bend, your timing falls apart, there's the potential of a bar crash. Essentially, it is just a shit soup of a pull. If the first pull had that element of control, double knee bend happens more effortlessly while you're still pushing through the ground with the feet through the midfoot, bar stays close, acceleration continues, and you get that nice pop in extension that we're looking for. Essentially, the transition from the second pull to extension isn't where we accelerate, it's just where we continue to accelerate. Now, this is the part most coaching content, or at least inexperienced coaching content, never explain properly. You should be trying to lift the bar fast from the floor, but it doesn't mean the bar needs to be fast here. You should be lifting as fast as you can from the floor while your balance and positioning is in check, which for most of us means a more controlled pull. The velocity is constrained by load and positioning. You can have maximal intent without excessive speed, but you can't maintain that effective acceleration without that previous intent. If you see issues like this, they're not always second pull problems. Slowing down at the mid-thigh, early arm bend, a bar crash, jumping forward, jumping back, or bumping the bar away. They can also be speed management problems that started in the initial first pull from the floor. The most efficient lifts actually don't feel all that fast early, but they are fast when it matters most in that extension phase. Control the first pull, maintain acceleration, and then let that speed and power be expressed when it actually matters. If you found that video helpful for your lifting, I've left some free resources down below in the description, or perhaps click on one of these videos above, which also may help put some more kilos on the bar.